So we're on board with Sarah for a hot around the Melbourne, Australia. Coming up to this main straight, opening up the DRS, 8 gears your choice here. And the 50-meter braking board is your first braking point of the season. Taking a lot of entry curb on the right hand side, taking a lot of exit curb on the left hand side to maximize your speed. Opening up the DRS once again. Now 75 meters is where you want to brake for this next right hander. Going down to first gear is Sarah for the extra rotation, up to fourth, quickly down to third for the extra rotation once again. Now this part is completely flat out for this game. Now 75 meters is where you want to brake for this next right hander. Going down to fourth gear, taking a lot of curb on the inside, taking a lot of curb on the outside to maximize your speed once again. Now for this next right hander, you want to brake at 75 meters once again. Taking a lot of entry curb there is Sarah in third gear. And now for the most tricky part of this track is fast flowing left-right chicane, which you want to take in 7th gear, taking a lot of curb there, a lot of curb there, and a lot of curb on the exit, so a lot of curb on all occasions. Opening up the DRS, now 75 meters is where you want to brake once again, going down to 3rd gear to maximize your rotation. 6th gear is your choice for this right-hander. Now 60 meters is where you want to brake for this left-hander, going down to 1st gear for the rotation. Quickly up to 3rd, 4th, and 5th gear through this corner, opening up the DRS, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is a lap around Australia.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first race of the SRC. We are here in Australia to go through the entire 22 race season to see which driver is the best. I'm here joined by Miles. Miles, introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Hyper. I'm Miles. I was the guy who you were listening just beforehand for the lap. Yeah, great to be back. Very, very great qualifiers we had last week out. And now we have our top 10 teams right here in the lobby, sitting there with us.
Yes, absolutely. It was quite good, actually. It was quite good qualifying, actually, with the mixed timings.
Yeah, it was. Very, very competitive grid. We will have for the whole of the season, for all the races we will have.
Was there Sorry, I was going to say, was there any teams that kind of like surprised you to qualify?
Definitely. The FCT guys who qualified, I think...
Ninth. I've got it up on my screen. FTC qualified ninth.
So that was a big surprise for me because like I said last week out, I didn't hear of them like whatsoever before the qualifiers, and they really, really impressed me, to be honest.
I think they definitely, like I said, I'm not as knowledgeable as the community as you are. I think their average lap of a 124.2 is quite respectable, especially as they were only what was it, 2,000th of a second behind the ELR boys, who were in 8th.
Yeah, very, very impressive from them, definitely. You have to admit that.
I'm going to scooch over to the front of the grid where we look at XRT. They actually pumped in an average of a 123.7. Was that kind of expected for XRT to take it, or were we expecting the likes of BRL or Shazoo to take it?
Yeah, definitely. I thought that Shazoo, BRL, or VSR would take the top spot. XRT apparently did a lot of slipstreaming, which helped them. Definitely for improving and for getting that top spot, and obviously choosing their car of choice first, which is no surprise that they took the Mercedes.
Yep.
So I was really surprised about that, but nonetheless, you have to admit that was a very, very good showing from both of those guys.
And finally, just slipping their way in, SRT just clutching in to get in that final spot. Again, another decent run from them. Tell me a bit about them. What do you know?
SRT is a very, very new team to the Xbox platform and to league racing or racing in general. They were founded like 3 weeks ago, I think. If someone's in chat who can correct me if that's wrong, feel free to do. Fairly new, like I said, but nonetheless, they're very, very competitive. And I mean, taking a spot in this league they have to be competitive, of course.
Yeah, strong names and strong teams, as you saw. The likes of we're using laps from the kind of top tier drivers. We've got Sierra in here, who did our hot lap. Which names kind of did you predict? Like, I know, of course, they're all part of teams, but which ones are you looking to maybe win this first race?
First race is always a mystery box, you could say. They are very, very competitive guys. We saw the hot lap of Syrah, which was a very competitive time. There are also likes of the Shizou guys, the VSR guys, of course the ERL guys who are also very fast. Also the BGG guys. You could go on with this list like forever. So I assume that there will be a lot of guys. Challenging for pole position on this track is basically 50% done. Overtaking is very, very hard on this track, which we will see. But also time penalties will definitely come into play for this one. So let's wait and see.
There's definitely something I was about to bring up about the track, but definitely you mentioned about time penalties being a big thing. I've been racing a lot more. If any of you have been watching some of my streams, my own personal ones, you will notice that I am stacking them up, and this is only on reduced when I'm getting them, but of course we're going on strict. I believe we are on strict.
Yeah, we are.
Rulings. You said about time penalties. What are we looking at? Possibly, what's probably the common area we're going to get a time penalty on?
Common area would be the very, very tricky left-right, very, very fast chicane in the third sector, where your lap can be invalidated. As we're in the lobby already. Don't know if you saw that, but I think we might see somebody's on board where they will definitely get an invalidation in quali, and maybe then even a time penalty in the race.
And here we go. The lobby is up. All 20 drivers in here. Who would have thought? Because we were only doing, what were we doing, 16 last time?
Yeah, we had 16 because of the 3 different qualifier lobbies. So full packed grid, 20 drivers in here, and very, very interesting to see them. As I think we might have the spectator glitch where they are not in the lobby yet, but we are. That's, I guess, or my guess is that happens when the commentator is also the lobby host. But
hang on a sec. We've got one down. We've got the Mercedes garage you can see in the corner there, seeming to get out. Oh, there we go. I saw a Red Bull get out. I believe it was Red Bull. Who's out first?
It's Syrah.
Is it actually Syrah?
It is Syrah, which for me definitely is no surprise, because he was always one of the first guys who was out on track last season out in ERC. So and with him having the Williams for this season, he is very, very. He has a very, very short way out of the box, out of the pits, and he will be the first one to set a lap time, as there are. Yeah, basically everyone's going out right now.
Of course, this track with 3 DRS zones, and this time no assisting from any of the teammates. It is literally all or nothing about themselves. So we're not going to see any of the slipstreaming we saw in the previous qualifying a week ago.
Hyper, quickly interrupt you. Your mic seems to be a bit quiet for the stream, so you maybe want to up that.
I'll just bring it a bit closer. How are we sounding here?
So that is something that chat has to tell you.
Thank you, chat. And it's actually, I say it's quite a nice thing to, get your feedback. Since this is, as I said, the first time Shizou is running a race, tournament like this. As finally Sierra is coming round the final 2 bends. Miles, first person to go across the line, first person to put a lap in. Talk us through.
Yeah, coming up to the line, braking down at like 60 meters like we saw on the lap before. Taking a lot of entry curve, a lot of exit curve here on the left-hand side. Opening up the DRS once again, and that might be the best overtaking opportunity coming to turn 3, where he is right now. Shifting down to second gear, bit extra rotation. fourth gear, quickly down to third, up to fourth once again. And now flat out for the rest of Sector 1. Now very, very tricky right-hander because it tightens up at the end, at the exit of the corner, which he manages very, very nicely. And now coming up to the next right-hander, a lot of right-handers on this track. He takes a lot of entry curb there, straightens the car very, very nicely there. And now up to the part, like I said before, the part most likely to be to invalidate your lap, which he doesn't do, and that was a very, very nice run from Sira. Now coming up to the next two right-handers, which are, if you are very, very close, you can set up yourself here, coming out of this right-hander and diving it down the inside on this left-hander. Sira with a very, very good lap for his first run, opening up the DRS, coming up to the line. And he will set the benchmark of an 18.9, which is, or an 18.8 even, which is a very, very impressive time from Sira.
Very good, as well as BMG Viper X goes in with a 1 minute 19, which does get beaten by Shazoo Christo. These are the top names, and it's been beaten. That's from the McLaren of Juxi, putting in a 118.8, 82. We have to be very precise here.
Yeah, very, very interesting choice of names for some of these guys. I mean, Shadow is a Shazoo guy, of course, and he has some problems with his with his Shazoo account. As I was on board with Viper, who actually missed the right-hander of the fast left-right chicane completely, and that's his lap done and dusted for this time, and he will go into the pits. The guys in chat and O'Neill told me that your mic still is a bit quiet.
Is it? Let's have a look. Audio input. Let's put this bad boy up. Crank the volume up. Hello, hello, hello. Of course, I am the one holding all broadcasting abilities. So, who's out at the moment? Jonas, I believe, is on a flying lap. I believe he is.
Yeah, he is. He invalidated his first run, but decided to go for another lap, so maybe he has enough fuel for 2 laps in his car. So very, very tight line through the right-hander. I was just talking about that tightens up at the end. The VSR guys in the Haas, probably not the car they would have liked to drive, but they seemed very, very satisfied with it. I mean, they're both in TSR, and I've talked to them a lot over the last couple of days. And Jonas with a very, very tight line through the right-hander.
Nearly invalidated that lap.
Yeah, very, very close for Jonas there. But coming around the final 3 corners now, and what we will see for at least the pad guys, the guys who are on controller, in this right-hander, they might have some understeer because the pad tends to overheat on the front left, and that's where you need, that's where you will definitely have some understeer. As Jonas puts in a 19.1, which puts him P4 for now. Zetex and Oxtis are on flying laps, and Zetex might be, Zetex is definitely the next one to set a lap time.
On the lap.
Coming around the final corner, actually, opening up his DRS and coming up to the line, it will be a 19.3, just a 3.
Not super competitive right now. It's 6th place though. Would you say kind of the competitive benchmark would be the 118s?
Yeah, the 18s are definitely the benchmark. There will, likely there might be. Let's put it that way. There might be an 18.5 on the boards here, but to deliver that in practice sessions, or deliver that in the actual race situation or the competitive situation, that's something else. As Logic actually invalidated on the right-hander, so we might jump to Sparks, who put in the fastest lap last week in the qualifiers.
Yes, he did, and of course he is in the Mercedes. They got first choice, and they wanted to go for the Mercedes, which at the moment in the current season is still dominating. Let's face it.
Yeah, definitely is.
A bit too much.
Oh, and nearly got a little bit of slipstream from Syrah there. Might have put him a bit off there, but yeah, Sparks should be someone who we should have on the cards for pole position because he was very, very fast in Silverstone and might be very, very fast around here. Coming around the final corner, there was a little bit of debris in the final corner. Sparks up to the line, puts his Mercedes in P3. Yeah, just between Syrah and Shadow.
That's a pretty decent time, to be honest. I'd, as a driver putting that in, I'd be quite proud. I don't know if you'd be proud.
Definitely.
Yeah. To be honest, if I got a time anything near these times, I think I'd be over the moon. I am far worse than everybody. Like, there could be somebody who's very new to this, to the whole community, and they'd probably still beat me.
I mean, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of time to be this competitive. Dip into the 18s is a tough task, as the Grief has left the session there. I might try to get him back into, if maybe O'Neill could drop me a message if that is even permitted, that I can invite him back. I hope so, but I'm not quite sure, so I will just stick to the 19 drivers we have right now, and now he gets disqualified from the session, which is interesting. Luca coming up to the line puts in a 19.2, which puts him into P6 for now.
I'm currently on board with L74G, a bit of a difficult name to mention. I think he's on a flying lap. He is behind the Red Bull at the moment, so he might be getting some sort of stream, or he's either backed off.
Yeah, he definitely backed off. His battery is completely full, so he might have backed off. A guy who hasn't backed off is Jack RT, coming off the final couple corners there. Coming off this left-hander, which is very, very tricky. And now, that's the actually worst thing that could happen.
Yep, I do apologize for this. I have no idea how I got kicked. We'll very quickly try and get eyes back on the track. You're still in it, of course, aren't you?
I'm still in it, yeah.
So if you want to give like a verbal commentary to what's going on, I will try and get us back in the game and put you back into the stream.
Yeah, well, I dropped your message, an invite. I don't know if you received that. Maybe you should. Yeah. We might have to set up the lobby once again after quali, but yeah, that's quickly invite the other guy back who might be joining.
Yes,
so
yes, chat, we're esports ready. Right, esports ready right here. Said we should be back live in a second, as I will put you back onto the screen. I'm rejoining the lobby itself. Any changes to the scoreboard? Any changes? Anyone taking the top spot?
It's still JKB on the top spot with Syrah and Sparks. Logic is currently on his flying lap, and yeah, has to set a lap time right now because there are only like 7 minutes left for those guys to set a lap time. Logic coming up to the line. Let's see where he puts his horse in. It's P7, so just behind his teammate Jonas, and not where they want to be, but for a banker that was very, very good. And I see you're back in.
I am back in, and we, as you can see, the scoreboard, well, I say scoreboard, the race positions, they've changed quite a bit. There's still a couple of drivers, though, who haven't actually put in a lap time at all. And that is Viper 9, Callum, and Clezo, is it?
Clenzo, is it, for BDG. Viper just started his lap, so he might be one to watch for this lap.
ERL
Missed
running
breaking point.
the Renault, which I think is actually quite fitting to their logo. Isn't their logo yellow?
Yeah, it is. It is.
See, I've learned it. I've learned it.
Yeah, misses breaking point coming to through turn 3, and now has the Williams of Syrah just in front of him, who moves out the way very, very nicely there. So let's see how he manages this left-right chicane, because it's very difficult, like I mentioned before, and does very nicely there for Viper, who slightly picked off a bit of slipstream there, and invalidates his lap on this right-hander coming out of it. And I'm not using TUS, Michael. We don't have that yet, but I'm sure O'Neill's in the chat and might be able to tell you something about it.
Most likely. Who is out on track performing a flying lap? I know Sierra was actually looking into doing a flying lap. He is on a flying lap right at the start, to be honest.
Yeah, Sparks is quite far on his lap, so he might be the next one to come over the line and actually improve his lap time. He goes for it and loses the back end coming out of the final corner, and that's his lap done. Now he quickly has to manage to get back to the pits to be able to do another lap. Who's on a flying lap right now?
Sierra is on a flying lap right now. He's coming to the horrible chicane that we always talk about.
Let's see how he manages it. Also very, very nicely, like on his first run. Now up to this right-hander, has a bit of some cars ahead of him. Crescito moves out the way very, very nicely there, and there's a Red Bull up ahead. This VRT Oxtes, who surely will come into the pits. So does Syrah. So maybe got a bit intimidated by this Red Bull up ahead and decided to go into the pits. Maybe he just was off his delta, and yeah, that's that. Yeah, Luca is on a flying lap right now. Let's see. No, he isn't. Definitely isn't.
Not with that one.
Definitely will go into the pits. He was down 9/10 in the second sector, and that's not good. Crescito actually is on a lap, and that might be his last one. Oh, that was very close to invalidation.
That's very unfortunate when you invalidate such time. You sure Crescito invalidated it?
No, he didn't. He didn't. He was very, very close to it, but didn't.
Oh, is he still? Oh, he's on his flying run as we ride on board with him. Going to the corner, which we've practically been judging this corner, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, but also amongst the drivers, this corner might be one of the toughest for the whole of the race calendar. So yeah, that's basically why we have to judge that hard. Crescito managed it also very nicely, coming out the final corners, no understeer there, but decides to go into the pits and maybe for another run. Perondi also, no, he isn't on the lap. Presto Evans, who is representing BMG today, so they are rocking the Racing Points. He is currently on the lap, so is his teammate Viper. Yeah, Presto. That
Evans.
Was not a bad. That was not a good line through there.
No, you can't cut that corner. This completely invalidated his lap, and we are trying to find people for you guys to who are on flying laps. Who's in the AlphaTauri? Oh, they're on the out laps at the moment. They're all coming out last 30 seconds, and this is really the time to punch in one last lap.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's time to punch in those final. Yeah, to squeeze out that bit of extra time, maybe get even a bit of slipstream from your teammate.
Jackie B is on his flying lap right now. I think this will be his last attempt.
It definitely will. So let's see if he can improve on his lap time. It's currently up by half a
Oh,
tenth,
no.
and that is lap invalidated, and I'm sure he won't be able to do another one.
Shadow also on a flying lap as well. He needs to get some improvements if he wants to be in the top 4. He'll be starting on the 3rd row of the grid if he stays where he is.
Yeah, definitely will. Let's see, and let's wait and see where he will put his car in. There are some guys coming on the final couple corners. I mean, there's a bit of a traffic jam in the final corners because you want that little bit of extra air, clean air up front. Shadow coming out the final corner. Very, very decent run for him. Let's see if he can improve and
Looking decent. It's very decent. Taking the top spot.
Very, very good lap from him. Jonas putting in an 18.9 for 6. Just misses out on Crescito, who is finished. So is Luca. Zetex is
Sierra just invalidated his lap.
Sparks is on a flying lap, and he seems to be very quick. JKB invalidated once again, so Sparks might be the one to watch here. Enzo invalidated.
Huge lock up from Sparks as he's coming up to our judgment call. I'm going to call it a judgment corner. I think there is a proper name to it, isn't there?
There surely is, but I don't remember it.
We're going to call it judgment corner, and he's a little bit unsteady on the exit, and has definitely controlled it. May possibly damage his time, but it was clean through that corner. Coming to the last couple of corners, using as much of the exits as he can. It seems fast coming through the final 2 corners now. This is for an improvement. He's currently in 4th, 2nd row. Coming across the line, it's looking decent. 17, 18, across the line, and he's going to put him 2nd, starting on the front row.
Very, very decent effort from Sparks there, but what a lap that was from Shizu Shadow, who put in the fastest lap overall with an 18.6. I mean, I said before there were some 18.5s I saw, but an 18.6 on the actual race day, that's very, very impressive from Shizu Shadow.
A brilliant run for Shadow, as we've been saying, and Sparks also pumped in. As I said, it's always about these last second laps. Those are like the ones that count, don't they?
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, you set a banker at the start of the session and just try to improve from there. So Shadow did exactly that. Was sitting P6 and is now on pole position.
Juki B, a very strong. He literally from straight out put out a strong lap. He's basically said to everyone, "This is my track." And coming out 3rd, still very strong, as he's only 2 tenths off Shadow.
Yeah, definitely very, very strong showing from JKB there, who is also representing BDG. Yeah, setting a banker lap actually can be the best thing to do, just to put that extra pressure on your opponents who have to beat that time. And in the end, only 2 managed to do so. So very good effort from JKB there.
Legrifi and Viper unable to put laps in. Not the starts they want.
Yeah, definitely not. Like we've got disqualified, and Viper, like you said, didn't set a lap time. Also, all the other guys like Oxtez, L74G, and Jack RT, also BMG Viper, all over a second off of pace, and surely not what they wanted to do here. But I mean, the race is long. We have 29 laps of racing ahead, and even with the safety car on, which also could be which could spice some things up. Let's wait and see for the race, and I'm very, very confused. Nobody actually has pressed the button yet.
Nobody has gone forward, but either way, this is going to be a one-stop strategy race. A lot of, as you can see, a lot of them will start on the softs. Roughly, what lap are we looking for pits?
Surely depends. Actually, we don't even know the weather for now. I might be able to get that very quickly.
'Cause if it does rain, that could be very, very interesting, as I believe we don't have power to what weather condition it is.
No, we don't have, but we have some drivers in there who could maybe possibly tell us what the weather will be like. But yeah, nonetheless, I mean, it depends. Like, yeah, coming back to your question, it depends if you're starting on the softs, which the top 10 will do if it's not raining. They will go to, yeah, very likely they will go into hards, and it looks like a very clear day today for the race. They will go to the hards. Is my guess, or they even will go very, very low into the race and go onto mediums. But yeah, at the end of those stints, the tire will die out and you will lose a lot of time. Yeah, my bet is like lap 7, 8, 9. All those guys will come into the pits for switching onto the hard compound of tires from their softs. But let's wait and see what all the others will do, or what all the others will start on.
And probably a question for all: is there going to be a formation lap?
Yeah, there will be a formation lap, of course.
So part of Fermi rules, and also making sure you don't crash even before the race starts is going to be a question for a lot.
Yeah, if they crash on the formation lap, they will get set back to the grid and are not able to warm up the tires. A session already is about to begin. So let's wait and see who is on which compound of tires.
Of course, you could start on the hards, try and do a longer stint to start off with, and then switch on to the softs for a faster start as we head over to what will be the formation lap.
Yeah, surely will. Who is on softs who isn't? Yeah, who hasn't committed to those softs? It's Ztex in P11, Preston Evans in 12, and Callum G, who is in P14. The other guys have either opted for the mediums or the hard compound of tires, apart from Lagrief. But I think, yeah, it seems like he already disconnected. So I'm not sure. I will quickly drop him a message.
Hopefully we can get all drivers in. But as it stands, Shadow will be starting on pole. Spark, coming in with a very close time. Takes second. Jackie B third. Sierra fourth. Then it goes to Shizu Christo. Then Jones, Logic, Cleanzo, Perundi. I do apologise if I get some of these names wrong. Lucia, Zeti, X, Evans. I was doing so well up to 13.
Until the French name came up, which I don't have a clue either.
If I got that right, chat, Callum, Viper X, Jack RT, L74G, Oxtees, Viper 9, and Legrifi coming up the rear. Just in time as they're coming up to the last 4 corners as well.
Yeah, they are, I'm sure. And with tire wear also being a factor during the formation lap on this game.
It's definitely going to do some damage because you don't want to go too fast, but at the same time, the front driver has to try and keep that back as close as possible because they will be waiting on the grid as with any other F1 race. Their tires are going to get cold, they're going to be waiting there, and also that kind of nerves start to kick in.
Yeah, surely. I mean, they have to wait a long, long time for all the 20 drivers to form up on the grid. But Lagrief is coming out the final corner, is actually not in the lobby, so we will start at least with 19 runners, and the start, of course, is up to you.
Here we go. 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we go with a little delay. Seems to be that the game seems to have frozen. There we go, but somebody seems to have jump-started at the very start. That is Lefrigi going all wrong, but Shadow still maintains as Jackie B will take his 3rd place. Sierra dropping down places. and it's a very close battle in this midsection. Jackie B maybe getting taken out, but it's Sierra has been taken out of the race. He is going to be falling to the back of the grid. Jackie B now in the front of this train. Shadow in second place. I don't know Lagrifi if that's going to be a time penalty against him for jump start.
Actually, he's not in the lobby, so we just have to ignore him, I guess. He got off very, very early. But Shadow with a very, very good start. So did Jakey, and so did Syrah. And there's a Haas of Jonas spinning, nearly spinning. He just managed to collect his car there and gets overtaken by Jack RT there. So a lot of stuff happening. Logic is overtaking Barks, who left the session quickly.
Looking for an attack. I think he might be on the attack as well. He was maintaining position just behind Jonas, who is doing fairly well. And that's the ghost car still around there. As we're getting cars doing rounds like 2 abreast.
As Callum had a moment there coming out of the final corner, and there was a little bit of debris flying.
ViperX is going to make the overtake. ViperX on the attack as well, bringing a brilliant overtake, putting him up to 11th.
Oh, there's so much stuff happening. I think even Syrah collected received a bit of wing damage there. So a lot of stuff happening right now. Yeah, let's quickly sort that out. Who is where right now? So, yeah, of course, losers off the start are Syrah and Sparks, going down 11, respectively 14 places, dropping for those guys. Jonas also dropped 3 places. Surely not his race. Logic, his teammate, up to 4th place, and yeah, basically everyone, just went up on timing boards.
Our timing board has gone a bit glitchy. I do apologise for that. Let's try and move it.
Yeah, you have to quickly wait for them to cross the line, and then it will be fine. But Shadow with a very, very good start, and he nearly is out of the DRS of JKB, but JKB manages to stick within this 1 second of DRS. Precito, so a very, very impressive showing from for the Shizou guys right now. Also very, very impressive showing for both of the BDG guys with P2 and P5 there. Logic not in the DRS of Precito, but has Cleanser up for company right behind him. And yeah, I'm really, really impressed from of those guys from the start out.
And oh dear, Jack RT get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As you can see, the prediction, it would be roughly 10 to 12 laps if they want to go onto the hards, and it would be roughly 9 to 12 if they want to go onto the mediums. But I think that was actually a 2-stop strategy.
Yeah, forget that one.
Yeah, that was irrelevant. But we're looking at roughly 10 to 12 laps. We should be seeing people into the pits. We're only on lap 3. DRS has just been activated, so we should be seeing more overtakes right now.
Yeah, let's hope for that. Syrah went onto the medium tires, who went into the pits already, so not the best showing for the BRL guys, as the Griff is back in the lobby, but there's so much stuff happening. I just read in chat that Sparks was stuck in overtake ERS all the way until the left. So yeah, the game sometimes does that. Not the best thing that could happen.
We have someone in the pits. That is L74G is currently in the pits.
Yeah, maybe picked up a bit of wing damage there, and that's why he might be in the pits. Actually, looking up front, JKB, crawled his way on the back of Shadow. Is like 2 tenths closer than he was the lap before. So is Logic, who has Cleanser and Luca up for company.
You see the leaders are pulling away a little bit as Chriso is losing out to them, as immediately once again my timing sheet has gone as Lucia has gotten a 3-second time penalty against him.
Yeah, not the best thing for lap 4. That's very early to receive a time penalty to his name. But yeah, nonetheless, I mean, basically everyone will receive one, I guess, or at least that's what I think will happen. Yeah.
Is still maintaining his position. He's definitely crawled himself a bit closer, nearly about 6/10 closer. He might try and attempt down onto the straight, 5/10. He's closing in, but a little too far away to make attack on the lead.
Yeah, surely is, and my timing screen is gone once again. But Professor Evans is very, very close to the back of Perondi. That's for P7 and P8 respectively. So BMG Viper is actually the guy who's on the alternative strategy and is the first of those runners. Oxys and Viper, so EL Viper this time, are on the hard compound of tires, and they are not that far off. So if they can make it stick, and maybe there's a good safety car for them, that could yeah, play into their hands. But yeah, we have to wait and see for the race to really unfold, and that's what will happen after the pit stops.
Yes, indeed. Another close battle is ZTX and Callum are fairly close to each other. That could be an interesting race, but Jonas with another 3-second penalty. I think that's, and so is Evans. He's got himself a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, a lot of 3-second penalties dropping in there as they're crossing the line, and I just put on the gap to the leaders just to quickly see how far all those guys are off. So Oxys is 11.8 seconds off there, off Shadow. So yeah, still very, very close between the top 15, you could say. But yeah, those top 2 guys are gone basically, for now at least.
Either way, but gap up to front. Jackie B. Jackie B. Sorry, he's a bit closer this time.
He is definitely, but with the dirty air coming into play in this left-right hander here, where they are coming up to, I mean, there's DRS just behind that, or just after that. Has a very nice line from JKB there. There is DRS, but with the dirty air kicking in just beforehand, he's not very, very close, and even in the spot to be able to overtake.
For the moment, we've plateaued out. A nice calm standing at the moment. Shadow taking the lead after a brilliant start. Jackie B holding his position. Crizzo coming in third. Then it's Logic. Then Selzo.
As Shadow is in the pit already. Shadow's in the pits already, so he's going for the undercut there. So is Perondi. I was just about to mention Logic is very close to the back of Crescito, and now what Logic has to think about is coming into the pits at the end of this lap. But let's first wait and see where Shadow comes out.
Nice,
a lot of clean air.
Yeah, clear air. That's going to be able to pump in some fast laps. He's gone for the hard tyre this time. So we're going to the end of the race, and quite early on. So a bit of put the hammer time down now, and then conserve your tyres afterwards. He could make it a good run out of this.
Yeah, definitely. As the guys in chat are asking you to put on the tire information, if you want to quickly do that for at least one lap, so everyone knows who is on which tires.
There we go, chat. You are more than welcome to see what tires we are on. 6 laps in, and a lot of them are still running the smart softs. Pits are starting to come up as well, so we should be seeing some changes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very keen to see if Crescito comes into the pits, which he does. Logic carries on for another lap. Clenzo's coming in, so JKB definitely stayed out there. Lucas stayed out. Presto Evans also stayed out. So a lot of guys, going a bit longer than the others. But let's wait and see. So JKB stayed out for an extra lap. So Shadow will be clear for this lap. But we have to wait and see where Perondi comes out in all of this. So there are all his, and he comes out ahead of Jonas, who also went into the pits, yeah, trying to get the undercut, but actually was undercutted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
I fully remember where he
Yeah,
was before.
maybe chat can. I'm sure chat, the chat is able to
Chat's
tell us.
always right. It always is. Unfortunately, I have my phone's about to die, so I can't view the chat anymore. Still waiting on Jakey B to come into the pits. This is kind of like the area we are looking for now, as Jakey B is coming up to the start-finish line very, very soon. Will he come in this lap? That is the question.
I'm sure he will, yeah, because the undercut. Otherwise, the undercut is so strong.
Oh, okay. I thought he wasn't for a second, but in he comes. We're gonna keep an eye on Shadow. See where he's at the moment. He is coming through up to the last two corners.
Yeah, he surely will have that in the bag. So we might even want to focus on Crisito, who, yeah, did the undercut just one lap earlier, but has a lot of understeer there. So let's wait and see. Maybe even Logic can overcut him, but I don't think that he will be able to. No, definitely not. There's Logic. There is Jakey B, and Jakey B is well off Shadow.
Shadow taking provisional pole as the people in front of them have not pitted yet, and it seems like the Red Bull's pretty close of Callum G, who has got time penalties against him. Get very close indeed to that Ferrari, which is SRC, which he's been behind him all of this race so far.
The yellow flag, which is L7 for G.
Virtual safety car. You said a safety car could play dividend, and it was now. The drivers ahead are going to definitely benefit from this. So Viper X, Jack RT, Oxties, Viper 9, and Callum will benefit off this virtual safety car.
Yeah, if they can come into the pits. I mean, all those guys can't push right now. So if BMG Viper is able to come into the pits and, yeah, benefit from, but he isn't, as the DRS is activated, and that's the indicator that this virtual safety car has ended. So we are back on racing. So no real, yeah, benefit for anyone there. Maybe for those guys who were just about to get attacked by another.
Unfortunately for those who don't know who went out, that was the Renault of L74G going out, I believe it was through a crash. I'm not sure because it's a DNF, so I believe it was a crash.
He spun, he was the cause for the virtual safety car. So,
his car was actually driving. There was a brief scene of him driving there. So, either way, we can definitely find out.
He's still there because the stream is lagging for me.
He's DNF. I saw him briefly when he drove past us. He's well gone on the scene. But meanwhile, Christo trying to hunt down Jackie B, who, to be honest, let's say the Shizou boys are actually coming out on top at the moment in their race, and Christo wanting to make it a 1-2 finish for Shizou on their first race in the SRC. Coming up to the last two corners, we're going to get the straight, the main straight where DRS can be used. Right on board of Christo. He is 1.6 seconds. That's closer than before. Heading in, DRS wing is open. He's gaining, but he's nowhere near. Late braking down into the first corner. Take a nice smooth exit on the second, and you've possibly got another opportunity. DRS now wide open again. Christo still gaining, but he's just not close enough to mount an attack.
Yeah, that's the tricky part on this track. Like I said before, qualifying is like 50% done for your race. But guys in chat are asking for you to put on the track map. That would be great, so everyone knows where all the others are.
You're welcome.
which should be, yeah, the full map would be great. Yeah, that's much better.
Looking spiffing, isn't it?
Yeah. As I was about to look at the tires Zetex went on, which are the mediums, and I'm sure Callum G will go onto the mediums as well. They will go for the soft medium strategy, which is
Shadow's made the overtake. Shadow's got past Callum G, who's not pitted yet.
yeah, I'm sure he will come into the pits at the end of this lap, or maybe the next one. But no, he actually stays out for that extra lap. But yeah, Zetex went into the pits, went onto the medium competitive tires, and will go to the end on this set of tires.
Shadow's really pushing, and taking into account he went in on lap 7. So he is pushing fast. He wants to get past his drivers as soon as possible. Blue flags being waved, which for those, as we all know, means that there is a driver faster than you. And who's ghosting? Someone is ghosting. Does it matter?
No real clue there. No, I don't think it matters at all. But very, very close for Luca, Zetex, and Syrah at the back, as I think Luca might have some minor damage.
He did go wide. I think that is a front wing damage. Just briefly, from what I can see, I think that is... No, it looks okay. I don't know if the virtual one shows it very well, but his wing does look intact.
Yeah, something is wrong there. As Shadow puts up an overtaking move on
God.
Viper, goes for the switchback, nothing to do for him there, and yeah, Shadow has to stick behind, sends it down the inside. Yeah, sets off Viper a bit.
Ooh, could be possible wing damage if he's not careful.
And
Jackie
B
B!
is...
What a move from Jackie B! As Viper, who's not even supposed to be in this battle right now because he hasn't stopped yet.
And Shadow has a go up the inside of JKB there once again and gets his position back. So beautiful racing from those two, going side by side once again.
Jackie B's gonna go back at him again, but no!
Oh.
Viper's denied it! And that's gonna be a collision, and that puts Shadow out of the race!
Oh, and the virtual safety car is on. So, I'm not quite sure. I mean, they went pretty wide there. From my point of view, I can't see who was at fault there, but I'm sure the stewards will have a look on that.
Absolutely. From my perspective, it looked like Viper was not getting out of the way, ignoring blue flags, just from what I saw. So possibly something against him, but poor Shadow. Shadow was doing so well in his race, and now he's got a pit. And that's going to completely wipe out his race. But Jackie B, who is qualified third and at no fault of his own, has now got provisional pole. Because, as I said, Viper X, Jack RT and Oxtease are still not pitted.
Yes, I was just about to mention that, but good catch there. Top 3 guys right now are JKB, Crescito, and Logic. And Jonas is also very close, so a good comeback drive for the Haas driver there, who was down to P9, P10 at the start of the race.
A brilliant run to put himself up there, as I'm looking at Lizo and Periondi. As again, chat, if I'm sorry if I do say it wrong, they're like close to each other at the moment.
As Shadow, yeah, left the session there. No surprise from me, to be honest.
Not much you can do. Might as well take the L on the first race, which will, as I said, hinder the team's result. But at the same time, Frisco, though he's not too far behind Jackie B, he still has a possibility near the end of this race to possibly mount an attack.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we are at halfway distance right now.
Wait, Logic's right behind him. I just realised that. Logic is really close.
Yeah, Logic is. And JKB's getting out of that DRS window from Crescito just behind him. And that might open up a chance for Logic to overtake or, yeah, even try to overtake, because on this track it's very hard to overtake. If he sets his move up nicely, which he seems not, yeah, no,
no attempt
he
at the
doesn't.
moment. Still got the second DRS section, which is where you said most attacks will happen. As Logic is getting closer, closer, closer. He's deciding to stay where he is. Only 0.3 of a second behind at the moment.
Yeah, also Cleanso very close behind Jonas, who, yeah, gets a little bit of pressure, and yet surely wants to set his eyes not on the back, but on his teammate just up ahead, who, yeah, could surely be a threat for the end of the race. But yeah, there's a lot of time and a lot of laps to go now, as Jonas picks up a penalty there. Went very wide, but Logic actually a bit closer to Crescito this time out, but nothing to do for now, and I'm sure, no, there will be no overtake. And in all of that, JKB is, yeah, just storming away right now. So with Shizu's Shadow out of the way, basically, yeah, it's basically his race to win.
Let's talk about position changes. You know, at the moment, you know, this doesn't fully represent it, but Jackie B gained, of course, 2 positions from sitting 3rd on the grid. He's made a big rise. Viper 9 has gained currently 4 positions from where he started. So pretty decent run from him, and Evans gaining some positions at the moment. Of course, as you can see from the very top, those 3 at the top have not pitted, and they're still going. I believe they're on softs, aren't they?
They are on mediums, I guess.
Jack RT is on a soft.
No, he's on the medium tires, the yellow walled medium tires.
Oh, sorry,
so
yeah. My apologies.
So is BMG Viper. Oxtis is on those hard tires, and he will surely go onto the soft, I reckon, and he is getting very close to the back of Jack RT, who... Has he a puncture? No, he hasn't, but Oxtis gets past Jack RT there with a simple move. Jack RT not making the life of Oxtis. They're very hard.
No, he's got wing damage. There is wing damage on Jack RT. That's why he's going so slow.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there's the complete M face is taken off. The details
oh, you're right.
of the front wing is just gone. So he's going into the pits now, which is going to allow Jackie B to finally get into the podium positions.
Yeah, I mean, Jakey is...
Logic might be going for a move. And against Christo, I've lost my cursor. There we go, they're battling side by side. Logic has made the overtake move. Can he stick it around this corner? He has. Logic puts himself into provisional 2nd.
Yeah, very, very nice move from Logic there. I was on board with him. Set off Crescito coming
Jonas,
up to turn 1.
3-second time penalty for Jonas.
Yeah, once
Another
again.
one.
Yeah, but I will quickly have a look on those time penalties for the top 4 guys right now. So JKB is on 2 warnings. Logic is on 2 warnings as well. Crescito has 1 penalty. Jonas has 3 penalties actually. Cleanso has 2 warnings. So no time penalty for Cleanso, no time penalty for Logic, and no time penalty for JK right now. As Syrah picks up a penalty. Yeah, how is Syrah doing? I mean, we completely missed that. He had an awful start to this race, but is back on those medium tires. But yeah, I'm sure he has to go into the pits one more time. I don't think he will be able to make that.
Well, ZTX also is on the medium tires as well. So I think it's more a position, fighting for position, get ahead of ZTX, and possibly he could do the undercut, because depending on how his tires last, he could possibly do that method instead. Is to the end of the race possible though?
Oh, as Logic picks up a penalty for Syrah, I don't think so. I mean, he went into the pits. I mean, he's stuck to the rules. That's what he did, but I don't think that he will be able to make that
Did Logic just
earlier.
get another time penalty? Or was that just
I'm
the same
not-
one?
I'm not sure. I will quickly have a look. Actually, yeah, he did.
Oh
That-
dear.
He received 2 penalties and 4 warnings. I'm not sure what happened there, but that was in very quick succession there.
Not good from them. As the race quietens down, currently, actually, there is seems to be, if I'm not mistaken, a bit of a train forming behind Logic.
Yeah, I mean, Logic and Jonas have to work together right
Like
now.
Rex, that's a simple penalty you could have avoided. Speeding in the pit lane, sorry about that, 5-second time penalty given to him.
Yeah, speeding in pit lane is not what you want, of course. As Callum mentioned in the chat, that might be a glitch or something for Logic there. So let's wait and see. Ox is still out on his hard tires. Sira is in the pits actually. He might be on for the soft compound tires to go on soon, and that's what the Williams garage has ready for him. But like you mentioned before, there's a bit of a train forming behind Logic. Yeah, also to help Jonas catch up to Crisito, maybe overtake him.
Ooh, yes, a bit of team play here, but at the same time, it is for doing that method, I think a bit of a risky move, because if Crisito does make a good overtake move and gets past Logic, he could pull away into the distance and reclaim second place.
He definitely could, but maybe I would put him that no, Logic isn't saving any of his ERS, so that's my theory out of the window. And we don't have to forget Clenzo just behind them, who will, and that's very, very good for BDG. Actually, if penalties are applied, just from the game, of course, it will be 1-2 for BDG right now.
Finally, Oxy's pits, which means, as you can see on the leaderboard, is actually how they stand right now. Currently, Jackie B with, let's just say he's quite lucky to be in first right now after that incident.
Yeah, definitely. He's stormed away with the race for now, and Crisito's very close to the back of Logic there. Might have a look, but decides not to. But puts the Haas driver under pressure. The VSR guy just up ahead. Jonas sitting behind them, not being able to help his teammate there. But they surely want to finish ahead of Crisito. And like I said just beforehand, Clenzo will be P2 right now if the penalties are applied.
That would be very good for him. I'm guessing he's on a clean run right now, isn't he? No penalties applied.
Not for now, for Clenzo, yeah. And none for JKB, so very good result for them coming up. But, I mean, there are still 9 laps to go after JKB crosses the line right now. So, a lot of stuff can happen. There can be a lot of penalties applied. And Clenzo actually has to push a lot to stick with Jonas.
Let's go back down the field. Callum G and Jack RT. There's a little bit of a close battle here. 0.4 of a second.
Oh, Crisito has a go! Crisito has a go! Up the inside of Logic, who left the door open there for the Alfa Romeo, for the Shizou guy. And that's Crisito back into second place, just like you predicted 1 lap earlier.
And Crisito now wants to put his foot down. Does he have the battery power to do it? As I said about Jack RT, lower down the field, so about to say Jack RT and Callum having a battle as well. And Jack RT made a move, but it seems like he did not make it stick. Jack RT still on that rear end of that Red Bull of Callum G. And I don't think he can make a move in this section unless you're really ballsy. He's going to go around the outside. No, he's not. Just puts his wheels in the dirt.
Yeah, and up ahead, Logic still having a look on the back of Crisito. Jonas just sitting behind them, and Clenzo just managing to stick with those 3 guys up ahead. But like you mentioned, very, very competitive
Go
grid.
back to Jack RT. He is super close. He could dive one. No, he doesn't. but he's very close. I want to stick on board with Jack RT because he is like not even a car's length, not even a car's width behind this Red Bull. This could be an overtaking move right here. Coming down the main straight, he is only 0.2 of a second. He's got DRS open, coming to the rear end. He's going to dive. No, he's not going to dive a little bit. To stay patient. Patience is key. Come to the next section. He is still so close, 0.2 of a second behind. Coming down the second DRS zone, going to the outside, but the outside is being covered. Got a late break. He's going to take it around the outside. He's going to have the inside corner. Bashing wheels with the Red Bull driver. Ooh, and it seems like the Red Bull will stay ahead. But Jack RT is still fighting. This is racing, ladies and gents, as Jack RT gets a penalty for cutting the corner.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him, but he's really going at it there. Very, very impressive driving from those guys. Yeah, I was up ahead the whole time, focusing on those guys. And actually, who can be a real threat for those guys up ahead could be BMG Viper, who's on the soft compound of tires and is in the DRS of Clenzo.
Jack RT, he's going to make another dive. He's going down the inside. What a move from Jack RT. Can he make it stick now with Callum G right behind him? Both of them, I believe, no, Jack RT is on softs, while Callum G has got medium tires, but that lockup has allowed Callum G just to come back very nicely, and a possible DRS attempt trying to get out of the way wildly towards the pit wall, but it seems like he might make this stick.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Jack RT has the fresher tires, and yeah, of course, also the soft compound of tires. As yeah, Logic is really close to the back of Crescito once again. So yeah, he might have a go somewhere. Jonas might have made a mistake there somewhere. He lost a bit of touch to Logic up ahead, and Logic might have a go on Crescito right now. Yeah, he definitely will. He will try around the outside. Goes Logic. Late braking, but nothing to do for him there. Maybe a switchback. No, decides not to. And is very close to the back of that Shizu guy.
If he maintains this distance, he could possibly do something. But that move has allowed his teammate Jonas to come into play. Of course, they are talking to each other, if I am not mistaken. So, possible move, possible let pass, see what can happen. We don't know, as Logic is getting closer, closer, closer. Patience game he's going to play as he comes to the second TRS zone, which is where we've seen most overtakes happen so far. Going down, getting again closer, closer, but no attack here.
No, surely not, as I think O'Neill was it who just posted Truly Train, which basically is the case there. The fastest guy is actually at the back of this train, who is BMG Viper, who's on those soft tires. 6 laps to go. So, Hyper, do you think Viper will make any progress in this group because of a Truly Train?
Viper could. That's the thing. If he can put his moves right and not give up too much time, he could easily gain a position right now. Which I can see on the ghost car of, I believe.
Oh, Viper might have a go. Viper might have a go. Yeah, goes down
the inside. That's a beautiful move. I said he was going to make a move without too much risk, and that's what I'm talking about. Don't want to give away too much time. Clean, easy. That's one driver out of the way. Next up is Jonas, and he's not backing down because he is on the soft tires as well. He has got the pace. And I believe he's also got tire life as well.
Yeah, he definitely does. 5 laps on those tires make that 6 coming up, coming over the line. And now he sets his eyes on Jonas, like you said just beforehand, who is very close to the back of Logic, and yeah, can't make that stick whatsoever because yeah, I think Logic wants to overtake Crescito, and yeah, Jonas also seems to be a bit faster right now than the Shizu guy, but yeah, track position is everything.
Absolutely, as Logic is now, he's not doing too well as far as Jonas. He's definitely being pressured right now because we could see Viper X. He's ready to mount another attack here, actually.
He definitely is. Yeah, he, like I said so many times, he's so much faster. Weaving on the straights is Jonas. Viper might have go around the outside, decides not to, but compromises Jonas's line into this fast left right-hander. And no ERS to play with for Jonas. Can Viper get down the inside? No, decides not to, and stick in P5 for now.
Has Jonas got tire problems? Because you don't weave unless you got tire problems.
I think it's a bit of frustration from Jonas there. Not being able to get past Crisito there. And Logic not being able to really set up a move on Crisito. And yeah, Jonas also with very little battery to play with for now. See how Viper's ERS looks like. No, also very low on ERS there. The only guy or the only guys who are who have a lot of battery to play with are Crisito and Logic. But Logic not having the pace of Jonas, it seems, as there's a yellow flag in sector 1. And that's Jack RT who spun.
Jack RT, who was doing very well. He's lost his complete front wing. He was having a good battle with Callum G, and he's retired. That's a retirement for him. That's him out of the race as we head back to Viper X. This is the corner where he's been doing the most work. As we ride on board with Viper X, he's going to maybe mount an attack on Jonas. As I said, all cars are equal, so it's going to be very hard. And you said this track is hard, but it seems to be the Viper corner right here. I'm sorry, we haven't pointed this out. Logic is past Christo.
Oh, really? He did get past. I was just about to look on those penalties, but we surely should focus on that.
Absolutely, as they are just all within not even a second right now of each other. That is both of the BSR guys just sandwiching the Shazoo member of Christo, who is trying to do the work after Shadow got taken out. And oh my god, Christo is gonna go for it, but he's made a huge mistake, and that's gonna allow Jonas an attack back onto.
And now Viper's all over the back of Jonas, going around the outside there, but nothing to do for the racing point there. No space whatsoever in this fast right-hander, and has to stick with P5. Yeah, even further.
A yellow flag somewhere. Lucia is out as well. I don't know if that's just a retirement or whatever, but 4 drivers out of this race. Elf74G was out. We are unsure of the reason. I think it may have been connection or a crash. Shadow quit after his race was compromised by a back marker. And recently Jack RT retired due to breaking his front wing, and Lucia, we are unsure why he left.
Yeah, we'll quickly go through the penalty situation, which will come into play in 2 laps time. So Crisito is on 1, Logic has 2, but with we have to wait and see. So Viper has a lot, and he has those 5 penalties, so he will drop rapidly or heavily there. So for now, Hyper, like I said 10 laps before, it will be Clenzo picking up P2.
Wow, brilliant work by Clenzo, who is he has been watching all this unfold, and I'm sure the urge as a race driver, you just want to go in and you want to just get in there, don't you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, in best conditions, you want to finish ahead on your opponent on track. So, but Clenzo did that really well there. Just sticking within the DRS, which he just dropped out, I think. So that might not help his race. Yeah, and he actually did drop out as we're about to start the last lap of the Grand Prix. So Jonas picked up another penalty and lost the car there very slightly. So Crisito has 3 second worth of time penalties, so he might be the one to watch here. If he can get that 1 second off of Clenzo, he might be even able to finish P2.
He has got 1 second on. He's got 1 second on Jonas, who has got DRS, so he's pretty safe right now in this battle, but we're going to hopefully maybe see some last-second lunges, possibly from Jonas or Viper X. The two that really kind of like brought this whole race alive is this front runners, which is what we love to see as the battle first, but nothing at the moment. Meanwhile, let's talk about Jackie B, who has really just been chilling most of the race.
Yeah, he did. With a very, very good run from him. I mean, like I said before, Shadow out of the way, and that's basically what helped Jakey to get into the lead. And yeah, being able to... Oh, wait a second. Jonas is very close to the back of Cristito and might have a go here. Cristito has a bit more ears to play with, so let's focus on that as Jonas gets very, very close.
Touching nose, you can feel the little push coming in from Cristito. Viper having a little look around the outside, but it will not happen as we can see Jackie B coming round the final corner, taking the first race of the SRC. Jackie B for BDG.
Very, very impressive drive for JKB there, but let's wait and see who will finish P2 and P3. It will be Cleanser, so a double victory there for BDG for the time being. Cristito picks up P3, Logic in P4, Perondi picks up P5, Jonas with a lot of time penalties in P6, Viper in P7.
ZT and Viper 9 are having a little battle right now. This is for P11, P12, sorry. They're coming round the judgment corner just in a moment. Maybe a possible attack for 12th place.
I don't, and even if ZTEX already disconnected, so it will be just driving through ZTEX there. Who, yeah, Viper will be the last guy to finish this race, apart from all those ghost cars who are currently on the track. But yeah, Viper will come around the final couple of corners and round up this first race of the season.
And what a race, though! What a race from today's competitors. A couple of crashes and definitely a penalty going to be looked forward into the stewards for sure for Shadow's case.
Yeah, definitely. That's where the stewards will definitely focus on. There is JKB coming up on the podium, celebrating his victory and making that a 1-2 is Clenzo in P2. Cristito in P3 with a very, very impressive drive there. And yeah, congrats to BDG, who are also fairly new to the Xbox platform. And coming up here into SRC with a 1-2 is phenomenal for them.
As you can see, these are the final results of the game. Penalties added. You can see the amount of penalties added from Krista all the way down. The only two clean drivers I can see immediately is Jackie B, Clenzo, and then our French Lasocci, who was down in 14th. So the visible ones that didn't have penalties.
Yeah, and that's actually what matters the most for the race in the end. If you don't get any penalties, you will be up front there somewhere. And JKB and Cleanser underlined that fairly well today. I mean, JKB was out in front, but Cleanser finishing P6, I guess it was, on track and finishing P2 in the end in the standings is a very, very impressive thing for Cleanser to do. And yeah, congrats to BGG.
A brilliant run from them, and that will be all from today. Stay tuned next. Wrong screen, I do apologize for that. We'll be heading over to Bahrain, which will be presumably a night race. Oh, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons right now. A night race where a lot of the conditions will change, of course. Different racetrack and different styles.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, will be an interesting thing to see, but yeah, let's wait and see what happens there.
Any last words from you, Miles?
Yeah, very, very interesting. JKB, congrats once again. That was a very impressive drive, and I'm sure we will see a lot more overtaking next week in Bahrain, as that's a track where overtaking is fairly simple.
Well, thank you very much. This has been the SRC. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned next week. As we said, we'll be heading to Bahrain, where this battle will continue. As for today, well, congrats to BDG for getting a 1-2 finish, and well done Jackie B for winning the race. I am Hyperactive, your host and commentator. Thank you all for watching, and good night.